Hey there, my name is Riley Smith, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about intermittent fasting. So, this video is for you if you're suffering from any kind of chronic health issues or diseases, or you just want to lose weight, because intermittent fasting could be the answer for you. So, intermittent fasting is a super hot topic at the moment, and it's gained a lot of attention in the health and wellness space. It's essentially an eating pattern that involves cycling between defined periods of eating and then not eating, with the aim of, like I said, promoting various health benefits and also weight loss. So, in this video, I'm going to cover the effects of intermittent fasting on the body, the various health benefits, whether it's safe for everyone, and the different types of intermittent fasting structures. So, the goal is that by the end of this video, you'll be able to answer the question of whether intermittent fasting is the right option for you. So I first want to talk about the effects of intermittent fasting on your body. So firstly, I'll just scroll over here. Now, immediately after you eat, carbohydrates in the food are then broken down into glucose in your body. So this is an image showing the atomic structure of glucose. Now, that glucose is then absorbed into your bloodstream and it serves as your body's main form of energy. Any excess glucose then gets stored in your liver and the tissue around your body as glycogen and fats, respectively. In between meals, your liver then converts that glycogen back into glucose and puts it back into your bloodstream to maintain a steady supply of energy. Now, typically, it takes around 10 to 12 hours for an inactive person to deplete all of their glycogen stores, but this time can vary significantly depending on how active you are and how often you exercise and the type of exercise you do and things like that. Once the glycogen reserve is depleted in your body, after that around about 10 to 12 hours, your body then starts tapping into its energy stores in the tissues, breaking down those fats into something called free fatty acids, which are then converted into additional metabolic fuel or things called ketones in your liver. And this is when your body starts to begin to burn fat for energy, which can result in weight loss. But like I mentioned, weight loss isn't the number one benefit of intermittent fasting. It's actually the other health benefits that it can offer. And that's what I want to talk about next in this next section. So, part 2, the health benefits of intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, like I said, can have other major health benefits. And one of these benefits is its impact on a hormone that you have called insulin. Now, insulin regulates the glucose levels in your bloodstream. So, when you consume carbs, your pancreas releases insulin into your bloodstream, and it's insulin's job to allow the glucose in your bloodstream to enter into the cells in your body. And if your cells are full, the insulin essentially shuts off access to the cells and the glucose remains circulating around in your bloodstream. So we've got a little diagram here showing the cells, and remember you have millions and millions of these cells in your body. Insulin is essentially the key that opens the door and lets the glucose into your cell. And once that cell gets full of glucose, insulin shuts off the door and that glucose then remains circulating around in your bloodstream. Now, you may have heard of something called blood sugar levels. That's just a measure of how much of this glucose is circulating around in your blood at any one time. Now, constantly high levels of this hormone insulin can lead to something called insulin sensitivity, which is a hallmark of pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. So you get more insulin in your body when you consume a lot of carbohydrates. Now, intermittent fasting is really beneficial because it keeps those insulin levels low and reduce the risk of those conditions that I just mentioned, such as type 2 diabetes. Now, around the 12-hour mark of fasting, you start to see the benefits of fasting on your brain. Fasting essentially challenges your brain in a similar way to physical or cognitive exercise, and it promotes the production of these things called brain-derived neurotrophic factors, or BDNF, that stimulate formation of new neurons and new neural connections in your brain. So the benefits of intermittent fasting on your brain health may include things such as improved memory, enhanced focus, and a decreased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Now, the third major health benefit of intermittent fasting is a process called autophagy occurs, and this involves your body prioritizing the consumption of old and damaged cells, which leads to cellular repair and cleansing. So, if you've ever noticed that when you get sick, you often actually go off your appetite, and this is your body's way of telling you to stop eating so that it can repair itself. And This is essentially what's happening in this process. Now, as the fast continues, at around the 20-hour mark, your body starts to produce endogenous antioxidants, and these antioxidants play a critical role in reducing inflammation, which can also help prevent chronic diseases. As we move on to about the 48-hour mark of fasting, levels of human growth hormone peak, which promotes lean muscle growth, improved physical and cognitive performance, and also cellular repair as well. So now the next question is intermittent fasting safe for everyone? And it's really important to note that it's actually not suitable for everyone. So children, teens, pregnant or breastfeeding women, individuals with eating disorders or type 1 diabetes or advanced diabetes or other medical problems, as well as those who are underweight or frail. It's recommended that you do, if you have any of these or you fall into any of these categories, that you do not attempt intermittent fasting without first talking to your healthcare professional. And notwithstanding that, intermittent fasting can actually be very unsafe to do if you don't know what you're doing or if you do it wrong, even if you're completely healthy to start with. It is critical to combine intermittent fasting with balanced meals that provide good nutrition. It's also critical that you stay hydrated and that you're aware of your physical limits. There's a fine line of doing intermittent fasting and pushing the boundaries where it can actually become quite unsafe. You also need to make sure that you break your fast very slowly and avoid overeating, especially on unhealthy foods. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the ideal intermittent fasting schedule. So there are many different intermittent fasting schedules or structures that you can follow, and they're all essentially just different variations of how long your eating window is versus how long your fasting window is. So on the left-hand side here, we've got a 16-8 fasting structure, which just means 16 hours fasted, 8 hours eating window. We've got a 24 structure, which is 20 hours fasted and a 4-hour feeding window. We've got a 1-6, which is 1 full day fasted, so 24 hours and then 6 days of eating. And then we've also got a 19-5, so they're just different variations of how long your fasting window is and how long your eating period is. I'd recommend if you're just starting out, try doing a 16-8 fasting structure. So eat for 8 hours and then fast for 16 hours. It's also worth noting that shorter feeding windows of 4 to 6 hours may lead to overeating potentially when you start with, which could lead to weight gain, which is another reason to probably start with the 16-8 structure. Some of these options also just may not be feasible for people due to their social life or their physical activity and other constraints like that. And when it comes to determining the ideal timing for your 8-hour fasting window, it's recommended to extend the fast. Okay, I'm going to have to pause that at 8:10. I'm just going to jump straight to the conclusion. In 3, 2, 1. So, just to summarize, intermittent fasting is a dietary approach that can have numerous health benefits, including weight loss, lowering your blood pressure, controlling diabetes, reducing inflammation, and also improving your brain health. However, it is very important to approach fasting with caution and consult your healthcare professional, especially if you have any other underlying health conditions. Finding the right fasting structure that aligns with your goals and suits your body's needs is also key to reaping the benefits of this popular health and fitness trend. So, if you found that video helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe. It's really going to help me to grow this channel to make more videos like this and to help more people. I've also left my social handles in the description of this video, and if you'd like any further help discussing your health or understanding what you can do to improve your health or your chronic diseases, please send me a message on social media. Bye for now.